morning I found myself on Barry Island in South Wales, and I've heard various things about Barry Island, so I thought I would go and investigate. Oh, by the way, like and subscribe. Cheers. This morning I found myself on Barry Island in South Wales. I've come down here to take my daughter to university and stopped over in an Airbnb, and I've heard various things about Barry Island, so I thought I would go and investigate. The car park where I parked wasn't at all appealing, but the lagoon next to it looked fantastic in the morning sunlight. I found a promising sign to the breakwater, which I followed to discover a nice little harbour overlooking the Bristol Channel. I then went along the coastal path up towards Friars Point. Well, we're on the north coast of the Bristol Channel, looking across to, I think that's probably Devon over there. This is where the River Severn comes into the sea, or the estuary that it goes into. And actually, I have to say, I'm quite impressed with the place. There are a couple of anglers packing up, probably after a night's fishing on Friars Point, and the view across to the east and across Whitmore Bay was stunning, and of course the fun fair at Barry Island. One of the things I've heard about Barry Island is that it's a bit of a kiss me quick hat kind of place, and you can see over there Pleasure Beach. Let's go and find out what that is all about. Well, this goes down to Whitmore Bay apparently. Some interesting horizontally bedded rock here. I don't know what it is, but I will find out in due course. Here. Leaving Whitmore Bay behind me, I had to run up and around Nels Point and the Coast Guard lookout and into Jackson's Bay. The Bristol Channel is quite renowned in nautical circles as having a very strong tidal flow and a very high tidal range, the range between low tide and high tide. And I believe the tidal range is only second to that found in Newfoundland. And here we can see the tide is rushing past these rocks. If you fell in there, you would be out at sea before you knew it. Very dangerous. Have to keep dodging the dog poo down here. They've obviously not heard of poo bags. Yuck.
get her.
I've had a good look at the beach and the coast. Now I'm going to run back through the town and see what that is like. One of the other random facts I know about Barry and Barry Island in particular is there was a guy called Di Woodhams who was a scrap merchant, and he got a contract in the, I think, 1950s to take from British Rail their old steam locomotives they were retiring and converting to diesel traction. And I think he ended up with over 250 steam locomotives, which he brought down to his yard here in Barry and parked them up in some railway sidings with the intention that in due course he'd cut them up and sell them for scrap. But it transpired, for various reasons, he didn't get round to cutting them up that quickly, and it sort of coincided with the birth of the sort of heritage rail movement. And so a lot of the locomotives that were stored there and had been destined for scrap were bought up, they were renovated and put into service. Another amazing fact about Barry. The place, not person. I don't know where Di Woodham's yard was, or even if it exists anymore, but I have seen photographs of it when it was stuffed full of trains. I'll try and find some of those pictures and put them in the video when I get to make the video. Well, what do I think of Barry? Will I come and live here? It didn't look as grim as I had heard that it might look. And in fact, the coastline is very nice. I would be a bit disturbed by the pleasure park and the amount of parking capacity there is around the place, which suggests that it gets extremely busy at times, and whether that could make living here a bit miserable, well, who knows. The town itself looks like pretty much any other UK town, a bit down at the mouth with shops that are closed down, but again, that's a sort of an endemic problem throughout the UK with town high streets. So not really anything unusual. There's been a lot of new redevelopment around the dock areas. There's some plush apartments overlooking the docks and what have you, which I expect are quite expensive. Whether any of the locals can afford to live there, who knows, or whether they're just turned over to Airbnbs. In summary, a nice place to be on a sunny October Saturday morning.